Hello and welcome to The Big Picture. The controversy which has erupted around former IPL chief Lalit Modi, resulting in it encompassing senior politicians in key positions, has opened up a Pandora's box. Even as the controversy plays itself out, with the final outcome being anybody's guess, some key issues have come into focus. The nexus between cricket, politicians and big business. Cricket, which was once known as a gentleman's game, played in state stadiums or cricket grounds, could not be called a sport of the masses. However, now, though it is played in very few countries across the world, the prominence to the game and its business potential has, however, grown disproportionately. This has attracted big businesses and leading politicians of the country of all hues and cries into its administration. The IPL has spawned an entirely different class of people who have got involved with the game as administrators, owners and spectators. This has resulted in periodic scandals, some of which refuses to go away. Why and how has this nexus between politics, cricket and big business developed? What harm and what good has it caused to the game? We have to admit it also has done some good. Is this nexus something which has come to stay, or is there any way it can be curbed? We will discuss all this even as the latest controversy threatens to damage long-drawn political careers, apart from exposing the dubious roles of many others in politics, cricket, as well as big business. To discuss this, I have with me Kirti Azad, a distinguished former India cricketer and now a BJP MP, Justice Mukul Mudgal, who headed a Supreme Court appointed committee to look into the affairs of BCCI and IPL, on the phone line from Chennai, T.R. Kakkad, former Delhi Police Commissioner, Shekhar Luthra, sports editor DNA, and Vinod Sharma, political editor Hindustan Times. Welcome to all of you. Mr. Justice Mudgal, I would like to come to you first. I'm told that you're in a hurry. You know, politics has always been politicians, politics have always been interested in cricket. We have seen that in the past. But how do you think things have changed now?
Obviously, it was just for the status it gave them. Today, it gives them much more clout because these become financial powerhouses, IPL teams. And look, the word of glamour has been added to it. And a politician would always like to be visible, you know. And there's no better visibility than being seen in an IPL or any cricket match. I think that's the motivating factor.
Is that the only motivating factor?
I would say largely that, unless something else comes out.
Because huge money is now involved in this game, and
True.
you know, you have yourself have investigated certain of these aspects.
Yes. No, but I would say prime factor is the image part of it, because the other thing I cannot comment on unless something is conclusively established. And political angle, I'm sure Kirti will deal with it, so that I don't want to touch.
Okay, please stay on, sir. Please, I'll come back to you if you can just stay on for a couple more minutes. A few more minutes, I'll come back. Yeah, I know, I know, sir. I'll just stay back. I'll come back to you, and then I'll leave you.
Okay.
Kirti, see, when you played your best days of cricket, 1983, and all that, we didn't see too many politicians in the game. NKP Salve was around.
There were two very good politicians who would give full time and were lovers of the game. And that was late Madhav Sindhya and late NKP Salve.
NKP Salve.
We won the World Cup in 1983. And that was a time when we had no money.
Right.
So he came and he said that I'll give 5,000 rupees to each player on the Lord's Pavilion when we had won.
Salve.
Mr. Salve. So we said, no, we don't want any tips or whatever. It is all in a joke. So the late Raj Singh Dungarpur spoke to Lata ji, and then we had this Lata Mangeshkar night here, and we got ₹1 lakh each. The manager got 50,000. They said, E&OE will pay you the rest 50 as and when we have it. So those were the days. But it was great time when we had a lot of desire, we had a lot of passion, which still players have now at the moment. But then when you talk about, you really have to go to the depth of it. In 1999, if you would remember, when I was there in my first parliament, that was the 13th parliament, I'd raised this issue about match fixing when Hansi Crony had accepted the fact.
Right.
Shane Warne had accepted the fact. There was a few other cricketers who had accepted the fact that they had been involved in match fixing, betting, and had taken money. those people were, all of them were penalized and they couldn't play. But all of them said that the roots were in India. Right. Because the names that they were taking were in India. Once I raised it, the matter went to CBI. The CBI went into it, and after that, we never heard anything about it. But one thing good happened was, nothing happened in between till 2008 when IPL started. And IPL, lot of money, glamour, free place for politicians to go and see. And there was approximately 1,008 crores that went out of India into South Africa, which was equivalent to $400 million. And you have to have RBI permission. You know that, Girish, that if you're taking more than $10,000 or bringing in more than $10,000, you have to say the source, why you're taking it or how you bought it. But then that was a saga. And I'll talk about it more as you introduce the other guests as well.
So the issue is, so you agree that IPL was the key, when this nexus really strengthened as the IPL grew.
See, you know that commercialization came into cricket in 93, 94.
Right.
When ESPN came in there and advertisements started, and you could see the game from 30 different angles. Right. And there was also this delay of 5 to 10 seconds.
Right.
And that was the time when the bet used to go on. And a lot of people took advantage of it. And that is how that fixing came into 2000. And once the CBI went in, cricketers might be real demigods. But then obviously were also scared of the fact that, CBI is after us. So everything went cool till the politicians took charge, came into the game. And in 2008, you had 5 politicians. And politicians of clout.
Of serious clout.
Of serious clout in the BCCI.
Right.
Which had Sharad Pawar, which was Farooq Abdullah, you had Jyotiraditya Scindia, you had Rajiv Shukla, you had Arun Jaitley. The 5 people were there. They were the people who approved those 1,008 crores. Because this IPL is a subcommittee of the BCCI.
And that's interesting. Anyway, you have opened up the debate. Vinod, suddenly we saw in the last decade or so, politicians who had no inkling of the game, who had probably never seen cricket being played even on the ground, wanting to become state association presidents. And then suddenly cricket became a very interesting aspect of their political life.
Yeah, that's true. As the economy opened, there was commercialization of almost every aspect of our life, including the media. If you remember that the real and actual media implosion took place in the year 2004 onward, in the year 1999 onwards. And this was Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee's second term, in fact third, but second regular term. Now, you see, I see cricket from a different perspective altogether. Once sitting in Parliament, a good friend of mine who's a politician was trying to say that, we have a very bipartisan approach when it comes to matter of cricket. And there is, there are no political barriers, ideological barriers. And I just laughingly told him, I said, this kind of a seamless fusion one has of only in the underworld. I told him, looking into his face, in fact, that is true. I'm not saying that all the politicians who are administering this game are corrupt or are hand in glove with punters or, match fixers or underworld, But a whole lot of other people are active, and unfortunately, the administrators who could have corrected things, who have turned them right, look the other way. And that, and that includes even the most fervent admirers of the game, like Mr. Srinivasan, in fact, his entire company was at the disposal of the field of the game of cricket, to promote cricketers, to sort of bring them up, to groom them, But somewhere along the way, even he lost the path,
No, big businesses also have taken
yes, that's course. No, so that is total commercialization of cricket.
I have a point. It was not commercial, but yet it was popular. The game was popular.
Absolutely.
Even if it was not commercial, it was popular. So it doesn't mean that Srinivasan bought it or the IPL bought it. It was an entertainment by itself. You didn't need these girls to dance there. Or you didn't want somebody to beat a band.
Eden Gardens used to be full without any of this.
So was the Firozshah Court. Can you imagine if I am playing and I get out and I see girls dancing and there's band going on? Can you imagine the kind of feelings that I have in me when I'm hit for a 6 of a good ball? You can't imagine, because if you played international cricket, you know what the feelings are. You're insulted. You feel insulted, absolutely. You've been hit. And there you have
see the girls
fuel
dancing.
to add fire, which is adding, the fuel that is adding to the fire, is then you have the drum. Ridiculous.
Anyway, a little point to Kirti. You know, we always wore shirts, you know. But Tommy Hilfiger came, or, you know, big brands came with this, you know, with the opening of the economy.
Anyway,
that IPL got to be made into a brand.
Carrie Packer bought it in. Carrie Packer bought it in.
These are minor issues. We have larger issues to discuss, Mr. Kakkad. You have, you know, you must have seen these things from closer quarters also. So when do you think this nexus actually sealed? You know, the bonding took place between these three elements.
See, as a matter of fact, if we say right from 1970 onwards, I've been watching cricket and administering the Kotla studio. And I found at that time there's so much of enthusiasm that hardly there was no doubt that anybody was involved in doing something other than cricket. But as the things progressed, I think when this short matches came, like the one-dayer and all that, that is the time when something started brewing up, really, and we came to know. But then from 2008 onwards, we found that practically whosoever he is, and wherever he is, in India at least, got involved in the game of cricket, not for just enjoying the game of cricket, but making a quick bucks. And those included the politicians, the administrators, and their cronies and other people who were really involved. And it went to the extent that I fully agree with the statement that India was always connected with all this, because the maximum money generated for cricket is in India only. And that is how all the things, all these people who are involved in betting were primarily stationed in India.
Right.
And from here they were operating, having connections
and
elsewhere.
Having connections with
in
all
Karachi
kinds.
and Dubai.
In Karachi,
Dubai. and having patronage from all kinds of
and then and that was possible because there's clear patronage because of the involvement of great time politicians in this game, you see.
Yes. Shekhar, you know, you heard everybody. My question is this. Justice Mudgal said glamour and visibility is what has brought politicians into this game. Whether they know the game or not is immaterial. But do you think that money has also sealed this nexus? The big money which has come into the game?
Well, big money is one thing, but otherwise, you know, I still wonder, you know, how it all actually got so much bigger in cricket. During Kirti's time, he's right, there was no money. But what happened during 2000 saga when Hansi Crony actually admitted he was fixing? So as Muhammad Azharuddin, so many other names came in. So one of the minister, you know, top minister, they called us, you know, all cricket journalists to his house after dinner and, you know, kulfi and all. He told us how the names of few cricketers, very influential and very legendary cricketers, were deleted from the list of CBI because they thought, or they were protected because the game of cricket is going to be ruined if they are, you know, going to be penalized. So if this is the kind of approach, and from 2000 onwards, what has happened? Why Lalit Modi has got so much of guts to do all these things? Because he knew all these politicians across the party line, whether BJP, Congress or any other party, regional party, they are there to defend them. They are there because they are getting more name from the cricket and big money they are going to protect. And what happened during early 2007? I tell you, one of the BCCI top man, he told, I mean openly he told, when Lalit Modi made a presentation, how the business of IPL will be run. He made a presentation where from all the, you know, big entertainment houses to politicians, they were all present in that meeting. Videography was there. If the court of law has to bring out, they have to bring out that videography. And how he made the presentation. The presentation is not about how you are going to play cricket. The presentation was about how you are going to spend 40 crores. Can you see a business where you will spend 40 crores, you will only get 20 crores in back, and you will probably, you know, end up losing 20 crores? Is this the kind of business model he gave to you? No. He told them, this is how you are going to bet, this is how you are going to bet in England, in Australia, in everywhere, because this is what Mayappan was doing. This is what Srinivasan was doing. And what has happened after Supreme Court? Supreme Court has clearly pronounced 2 teams are guilty, two businessmen, two owners are guilty. And what has happened? All these 2 teams were allowed to play this IPL.
Absolutely.
Why?
No, you see,
Simple. Because politicians are there to protect them.
now you see, all this is what I'm only trying to second what he's saying, that all this is possible because look at now, over 1,000 crores has gone out of, and no agency is questioning that.
No agency is questioning.
That's
no,
exactly
No
what I said.
agency is questioning that.
This is
Was there an RBI permission?
No, all these questions have been raised.
No, but because there are politicians involved,
No,
that is why.
But the man
that
behind
is why
it is,
even this matter is not being taken up properly.
The man behind it is in Montenegro having a good time.
No, that is okay. That is, he's one person. What about the others? Why are they not raising those issues?
I'll join Shekhar's and Kakar's
I have a question, please. If you want to say anything about what he said, after that I'll have a question.
Okay. No, he says politicians being together. There are 2 types of politicians.
Of all hue and cry.
No, 2. One is that who wants to go and show their face on television. Wow, lovely.
That is all right.
That's great. That's fine. That's not,
fine.
There's no problem because you have love for the game.
Some politicians have used cricket to refurbish their images.
That is okay, fine.
And their bank balances.
Fine.
And their bank balances. And also black money. Now, the question is, those who've been involved, my question is, as rightly said by Mr. Kakkar, 1,008 crore rupees goes from the country, RBI. You've been ministers. You're leader of the opposition. You're ministers. You
Finance
called
minister.
Roti Chochi.
Finance
You
minister.
can't say, yes, at that time. Now, yes. So, these people, they were involved. They didn't know the law of the land. I mean, being a lawyer, one should know that
more than
ignorance of law is no excuse.
More than $10,000, you have to give an account for
Kirti, that's
account
why
of it. Take permission.
All that we have talked about.
So why the ED? Why the ED is not probing all the 15 in the executive committee of the BCCI and the governing council?
My larger question is, this serious conflict of interest has arisen across the board after the involvement of politicians, big business into cricket. So, how do we get, is there any way in which this conflict of interest can be resolved, that, these issues can be, because the larger interest of the game is suffering. Do you agree with that?
Game is suffering, a lot of images suffered, but people of our country are very innocent. They don't realize what is happening. They want entertainment. They love it. The BCCI, I must tell you, believe me, it's gone the Indian Olympic Association way. But the only thing that makes it thrive is because of its money and the glamour in game.
And the clout and the people who are there.
Exactly. That's about it.
No,
Otherwise,
Kirti, I still remember Mr. Ajay Makhan when he came out of that meeting where he was thrashed badly by all these politicians.
Yes.
When he tried to bring the
sports development bill.
He was completely shattered.
Absolutely.
He was speaking to us. He was completely shattered.
Absolutely.
As if he has lost his job. And this is what exactly happened after a few months.
Yeah.
He was shunted out of the sports ministry and somebody else
So there is
came.
a conflict of interest. And, I have said that this is BCCI and IPL. They are united alliance. United in corruption, alliances for position. Otherwise, tell me, all those who lost the election of the BCCI just now, the general election that took place last year, you have Rajiv Shukla as Commissioner IPL, you have Jyotiraj Scindia back as who have they have lost their election.
All of them are back.
All of them are back. How is it? So it's basically Noora Kushti that you see. It's you scratch my back, I scratch my back, you have this Alibaba and 40 whosoever. That is what happens.
You should please address the issue of conflict of interest. And how do we overcome this problem? Is there any way in which politicians can be kept out of the sport federation?
They should simply let it go. You see what has happened to Indian Olympic
Automatically something will happen.
They do not take any decisions either on the disciplinary committee or financial matters. And because they delay it, you find this in sports. Sports is immediate disciplinary action.
Absolutely.
Immediate disciplinary action. If you don't do that, that conflict of interest will carry on. The game and the country and the players and the board will get a bad name.
You see, I think that instead of containing the, the rot which is set in, it is spreading. I mean, it is being made to spread. It is now trying to encompass hockey.
And this alliance,
it has already encompassed kabaddi. All games are being tetra-packed.
Let us stick to cricket. As Kirti was pointing, the alliance is what is creating this.
You see, may I tell you one thing? There has to be a very honest introspection done at the level either there is a suo motu intervention by the highest court of the land to give a framework within which
the court has intervened. The court has
within which the cleansing can be done.
Justice
No, you see, I think
what is the result, sir?
What the result?
Look at Rajasthan IPL team. Look at the Chennai IPL. Something definitely has come against them. But question, has any action been really taken?
No, but you see,
the name of the players are not out yet.
If there is an express directive by the highest court of the land, unless, of course, there is some influence exercise there as well. You see, that is the only hope that you have. Because in Parliament, that kind of a consensus is not possible in the given structure. Because it has been suggested that, that the interests cut across party lines, So, I personally feel that a judicial intervention, giving an architecture which could replace the present architecture in order to give a greater say to professional players, veterans who have played the game in the past, and eminent people. It is like almost like setting up a Lokpal or a National Judicial Appointment Commission.
Kirti, you tell me, you have been a veteran cricketer. How is it that you never got into the administration of this game, or people like you?
Because I call a spade a spade. I don't follow the diktat. And that is what has happened with me, with my local association. Even Bishan Singh Bedi is out, Mohinder Amarnath is out, Maninder Singh Madanlal, all of them are. And over the ages, you can see the kind of, even they've distributed liquor on the 2nd of October in 2012. I mean, you can imagine. And in spite of the fact that the Excise Commission has accepted this fact that yes, we've found whatever the complaint was is correct. Even the Delhi police have been told they don't do anything. Kakkad Saab may speak to the Commissioner of Police, he's senior, and get something done.
No, but Kirti, another question I have.
They can get away with anything.
No, another question I have. All said and done, if you see in the last 2 decades or 1.5 decades of cricket in this country, it has grown exponentially. It has, one of the good things which has happened, and I'm sure you will agree, is that cricketers are now no more just from the metropolitan cities. They have spread from all across the country.
Fantastic.
All this has been possible because the way the board has grown and the kind of money which has come into it, which has been distributed across. So, do you admit that at least that some of these politicians have done some good for this game?
You tell me you ask them what is the size of a cricket bat or what is the weight or the circumference of a cricket ball, they wouldn't know.
But why should they know?
You tell me.
Why should they know?
There is a state like Bihar. There was a Bihar Cricket Association. We don't have it. The 3rd most populous state in the country. You don't have an association. So what has a politician done? You have got 4 in Maharashtra. You got 2 in Bengal, 3 in Gujarat, 2 in Andhra Pradesh. This is how you've done, and the 3rd most populous state doesn't have it. So what good you have done for the game of cricket? They have come, the people have watched the game on television. Did BCCI hold camps in these small little remote villages and their hamlets? Did they do that? Or these boys came on their own might? That is the question.
Your question is, how do we set this rot, straight? I think the entire problem has arisen because of this betting.
Money.
There is one way which, let somebody take that up, legalize the betting.
Legalize betting?
Legalize betting.
Legalize betting. Apart from that, Shekhar, Vinod spoke about changing the architecture. I suppose that is what Ajay Maken was trying to do, right?
Yes, definitely.
Of the sports federations, sports bodies in this country.
Yes. The important thing is to bring BCCI under RTI. I sometimes wonder whether the government of India is running this country or the BCCI is running this country. Correct. Because I'm a sports journalist. I have nothing to do with politics. But you look at the BCCI, all the body, and they are virtually running this country. We talk about the conflict of interest of Mr. Srinivasan. I was dead against him, running the BCCI. But now I actually feel he was probably the holiest person in the entire BCCI, because conflict of interest is when serious fraud investigation office, they give Delhi cricket some 46 notices of serious frauds and no action is being taken because, the protectors are there. The conflict of interest is there in the ministries. So how can you actually, just pick one person, Srinivasan, or some, Dhoni or Mohammad Azharuddin? There is a lot to do when it comes to cricket administration. And first thing is to bring it under RTI.
Okay. Vinod, so you think that this, we are discussing this in the context of what is happening around us now, the present controversy, things like that. You think politicians will learn a lesson from this at all? Politicians who have been involved.
The Honorable Prime Minister, I remember in one of his speeches, and Kirti's leader, the Honorable Prime Minister had, in fact, one of his dreams has been that India should be figuring higher in the Olympics medals tally, that it should be doing better in sports internationally. No, I think that, I spoke about the Supreme Court earlier, but if there is intervention at the highest level in the government, and somebody at the level of the Prime Minister or who even somebody equally important, they can make their choices, there can be some improvement. But to suggest that there will be an improvement overnight, I'm sorry, this is a rot which has accumulated over a period of long time and is only can be cleaned gradually. Many people will be disturbed. There will be ripple effects across India. Kirti has said, there are many cricket associations who are getting more money from the BCCI now, and they may not be on board, they may not agree easily, but intervention at the highest level, whether it is the Supreme Court or the political level, that alone can help the situation. Otherwise, there are far too many vested interests to defeat a good Samaritan.
Yes.
Kaka?
You see, things being sorted out at Supreme Court level, Supreme Court goes into an issue and pronounces some sort of direction, judgment and all that. And it is not being, in other cases, there are plenty of other issues where these are not being followed at all. This rot can be set right only if the highest in the administrative setup issues clear directions to whosoever he appoints as the sports minister, that look, you have a free hand, I want these things to be done.
Okay.
I want these things to be done.
Kirti, so far you have spoken as a cricketer. Would you like to talk as a politician now, as an MP who has been around for quite some time? Seeing what is happening, the kind of support a man like Lalit Modi gets, how disturbing is that?
Sir, first of all, I must tell you, I take pride in the fact that I played for my country, and I also feel proud that I won from a constituency where nobody got repeated 3 times. So I do my work, I love it, I take it as a passion, and I do that. I do agree with Vinodji when he talks about that some intervention has to take place. Whether it comes from the highest court of law, that is the Supreme Court, or the Prime Minister makes a committee or a team to look into these matters and report to him, but in a time-bound manner. And thirdly, most importantly, that the National Sports Development Bill, which I would thank Ajay Makhan, who was a minister, he was from the UPA, but as far as the game and that law was concerned, yes, that bill was fantastic. That should be bought.
That needs to be revised.
Yes. And as Shekhar said, RTI, if they say we are very clean, which we are seeing how clean they are in the IPL and the BCCI, they should come under the RTI. What's the problem? When they were going to come under the RTI, and the discussion was going on when one RTI activist, Mr. Subhash Agarwal, had put this question, I was sitting with him. And suddenly there was a battery of lawyers. They spend about 200 crores every year on law across these associations and have 17 or 18 chartered accountants in one company, like in DDCA. They came in there and they had a stay in the hand.
So anyway,
and this is what happens.
No, anyway.
So the court must intervene and say stay out.
Last quick question. Politicians holding administrative positions in sports bodies. Is this something which is unavoidable?
If they have any knowledge of the game or they have had experiences and who sincerely want to do, then they should leave their ministerial posts and fully involve themselves into the game. Okay. You can't do both.
I think on that note, we need a, that's a very
because when you are a minister or you are a leader or something, you have to give 100% time. You're a professional politician.
Conflict of interest.
This is where the conflict of interest comes in.
I think you have hit the nail on the head, Kirti. But I don't know whether all your colleagues, politicians will agree with what you have said. A lot of people have not agreed with a lot of things what you have said in the law in some years now. We'll wait and watch what will happen. Thanks to all my guests. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue, the big picture, same time on Monday. Meanwhile, have a great weekend.